Howdy, folks, and welcome. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into a celebration that's as American as apple pie and just a tad bit spookier. That's right, we're talking about Halloween. Picture this: the harvest moon, big and orange as a pumpkin, hangs high in the sky. A crisp autumn breeze whispers through the trees, carrying the scent of fallen leaves and maybe, just maybe, a hint of mischief in the air. It's that time of year when the veil between the worlds grows thin and shadows seem to dance with a life of their own. All across this great land, folks are busy stringing up cobwebs, the fake kind, of course, carving pumpkins, and digging out their spookiest decorations. From sleepy suburbs to bustling cities, something magical happens as Halloween approaches. Ordinary houses transform into haunted mansions, their porches aglow with the flickering light of jack-o'-lanterns. Front lawns become graveyards for spooky specters and grinning skeletons, while friendly ghosts and grinning pumpkins keep watch from windows and doorways. And let's not forget the sounds. The air is alive with the laughter of children dressed as their favorite superheroes and spooky creatures, all eager to embark on their trick-or-treating adventures. It's a sight to behold, folks. A true testament to the spirit of Halloween and the joy it brings to folks of all ages. Now, Halloween in the USA ain't just one thing, no sir. It's a tapestry woven from the traditions and customs of folks from all walks of life. From the haunted hayrides of New England to the elaborate Day of the Dead celebrations in the Southwest, every corner of this country has its own unique way of celebrating this spooky holiday. So join us as we journey from coast to coast, exploring the many faces of Halloween in the USA. We'll meet some colorful characters along the way and uncover the stories behind this beloved holiday. Get ready for a haunting good time, folks, because this is going to be one unforgettable Halloween adventure. First stop, we're heading west to the Golden State, California. Now, California is known for its sunshine and beaches, but come Halloween, things take a spooky turn.
Upbeat Californian accent. Oh my gosh, Halloween in California is like totally epic. Think beach bonfires with spooky stories, pumpkin carving contests at vineyards, and haunted houses that'll make you scream for your mama.
From the Hollywood Hills to the Redwood Forest, Californians sure know how to throw a haunting good party.
Laid-back Californian accent. We even got haunted theme parks, dude. You can ride roller coasters in the dark, hang out with zombies, and party with vampires. It's a scream.
Now let's hop on over to the East Coast and check out the Big Apple, New York City. This concrete jungle transforms into a spooky spectacular on Halloween night.
Oh, the Village Halloween Parade is incredible. Thousands of people in the most creative, outlandish costumes you can imagine. It's a giant street party.
From the iconic Greenwich Village Parade to the spooky tours of Sleepy Hollow, New York City embraces the spirit of Halloween with open arms and maybe a few spooky tentacles.
Yo, we got haunted bars, spooky speakeasies, and ghost stories that'll give you goosebumps. Halloween in New York City is an experience you won't forget.
Now let's journey into the heartland of America, where Halloween traditions are as American as apple pie.
I find the Midwestern approach to Halloween quite charming, actually. The emphasis on harvest festivals, pumpkin patches, and community gatherings is rather lovely.
Think hayrides through moonlit cornfields, pumpkin spice lattes by the bonfire, and spooky stories shared amongst friends and family.
We love creating a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for Halloween. It's all about celebrating the season with our loved ones.
Now let's talk about a Halloween tradition that's near and dear to every kid's heart: trick-or-treating. As the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the land, little ghosts and goblins emerge from their houses, eager to embark on their sugary quests. Armed with their trusty bags and buckets, they flit from house to house, their excited cries of trick or treat echoing through the crisp autumn air. And the best part? Those generous souls who open their doors, ready with bowls overflowing with candy, a sweet reward for a night of spooky fun. No Halloween celebration would be complete without the warm glow of a jack-o'-lantern, each one a unique work of art, crafted with care and a touch of spooky creativity. Families gather around kitchen tables armed with spoons, knives, and imaginations running wild, ready to transform ordinary pumpkins into grinning ghouls, toothy monsters, or even friendly faces. The air fills with the sounds of scraping, carving, and laughter as each pumpkin takes on a personality of its own, their flickering candlelight casting dancing shadows on the walls. It's a time-honored tradition that brings generations together, creating memories that'll last a lifetime, and maybe even inspire a few spooky stories along the way. Now let's talk costumes. Halloween is the one night of the year when you can be anyone or anything you want to be.
Enthusiastic. I love getting dressed up for Halloween. It's so much fun to let your imagination run wild and create a whole new persona for the night.
From classic creatures like vampires, witches, and zombies to superheroes, pop culture icons, and everything in between, the possibilities are endless.
Laid back. Some folks go all out with elaborate costumes and makeup, while others prefer a more simple approach. But no matter what you choose to wear, it's all about embracing the spirit of the holiday and having a good time.
For those brave souls seeking a fright, Halloween offers a plethora of haunted happenings designed to test your courage and send shivers down your spine. From haunted cornfields and hayrides to elaborate haunted houses and spooky escape rooms, there's no shortage of opportunities to get your adrenaline pumping.
Nervous laughter. I'm not sure I'm brave enough for a haunted house, but I love hearing the screams of those who are. It's all part of the fun of Halloween.
Whether you prefer jump scares or psychological thrills, there's a haunt out there waiting to give you a Halloween scare you won't soon forget. Now y'all know I love a good ghost story, and Halloween's got 'em in spades. But did you know this spooky celebration ain't no spring chicken? Oh no, its roots run deep, all the way back to the ancient Celts and their festival of Samhain. See, these folks believed that on the eve of November 1st, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead blurred, allowing spirits to cross over. They'd light bonfires, offer sacrifices, and wear costumes, all in the hopes of appeasing these wandering souls and ensuring a bountiful harvest for the coming year. Over time, as Christianity spread, Samhain blended with All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, eventually evolving into the Halloween we know and love today. Now, even though we don't go around lighting bonfires and making sacrifices anymore, well, most of us don't, that ancient belief in a thin veil between the worlds still lingers in the air on Halloween night. Think about it. We tell ghost stories, dress up as creatures from beyond the grave, and decorate our homes with all things spooky. It's almost like we're inviting those spirits to come out and play. And who knows, maybe some of those ancient traditions hold a grain of truth. Maybe, just maybe, on Halloween night, the veil really does thin, and the spirits of our ancestors draw a little closer. Gives you chills just thinking about it, doesn't it? While Halloween's known for its spooky fun, it's also a time for reflection and remembrance. Many folks use this time to honor the memory of loved ones who are no longer with us. They might visit cemeteries, light candles in their memory, or simply share stories and laughter, keeping their spirits alive in their hearts. It's a reminder that even though our loved ones may be gone, their love and memory continue to shine brightly in our lives. And maybe, just maybe, they're looking down on us, sharing in the Halloween fun. So this Halloween, as you're out trick-or-treating or enjoying a spooky movie marathon, take a moment to remember those who came before us. Over the centuries, Halloween has transformed from a solemn religious observance to a lighthearted celebration of all things spooky. It's a testament to the enduring power of tradition and our fascination with the unknown. From its humble beginnings in ancient Celtic lands to its modern-day incarnation as a global phenomenon, Halloween continues to capture our imaginations and remind us that sometimes it's fun to embrace the shadows. So, as the leaves turn golden brown and the air turns crisp, let's raise a glass or a candy apple to this hauntingly delightful holiday and all the joy it brings. Happy Halloween, y'all. Now, Halloween in big city, well, that's a whole different breed of spooky folks. Imagine towering skyscrapers cast in long, eerie shadows across streets packed with costumed revelers.
New Yorker accent. Halloween in the city? Forget about it. It's a wild time. You got people in crazy costumes everywhere. Parties popping off on every corner and enough spooky events to keep you hopping all night long.
From haunted subway stations to creepy back alleys, the city's alive with urban legends and spooky tales, each one whispered with a mix of fear and fascination.
Upbeat Californian accent. We have this one legend in LA about a ghost who haunts the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. They say she appears every Halloween, searching for her lost love. Spooky, right?
Now, out in the countryside, Halloween takes on a more intimate, down-home feel. Think neighbors gathering around bonfires, sharing ghost stories and mugs of hot cider.
Warm Midwestern accent. We love having Halloween parties out on the farm. The kids can run around in the hayloft, we bob for apples, and tell spooky stories around the bonfire. It's a real family affair.
Instead of haunted houses, you might find haunted barns or cornfields where the rustling of leaves and the hoot of an owl can send shivers down your spine.
Proper British accent. I find the contrast between the urban and rural Halloween celebrations quite fascinating. The countryside offers a more traditional, almost nostalgic experience, wouldn't you say?
But whether you're navigating the crowded streets of New York City or enjoying a hayride through a moonlit pumpkin patch, one thing remains the same. The spirit of Halloween unites us all. It's a time for letting loose, for embracing the strange and wonderful, and for remembering that even in the darkest of nights, there's always a little bit of magic in the air. So, no matter where you find yourself this Halloween, be sure to soak up the atmosphere, indulge in a few treats, and maybe even share a spooky story too. And remember, folks, even though Halloween only comes once a year, the memories we create on this magical night will last a lifetime. Halloween brings people together. Folks put aside their differences and celebrate something spooky, silly, and fun.
Laid-back Californian accent. Halloween's all about community. Everyone's invited no matter what. Neighbors carving pumpkins, kids trick-or-treating, even the family dog in costume.
Transforming neighborhoods into haunted wonderlands, porches aglow with jack-o'-lanterns, beckoning trick-or-treaters with sugary delights. And it ain't just about the candy, folks. Halloween's a time when communities come together. You got your haunted corn mazes, pumpkin carving contests, costume parades, and even spooky storytelling nights.
Warm Midwestern accent. Our town has this amazing haunted hayride every year. All the proceeds go to the local library.
From school fundraisers to church festivals, Halloween provides a chance for folks to volunteer and give back.
New Yorker accent. Even in a big city like New York, Halloween brings people together. Everyone just out there having a good time.
One of the most beautiful things about Halloween is that it transcends cultural and generational boundaries. Everyone can appreciate a good scare, a sweet treat, and a chance to let their imaginations run wild.
Halloween has become a global phenomenon, uniting us through our fascination with the unknown.
On Halloween night, the lines between strangers blur as we share laughter and spooky stories. Despite our differences, we're united by our shared humanity and capacity for joy. As the witching hour draws to a close, there's a certain magic that lingers in the air. Halloween captures our hearts, reminding us to embrace the strange and wonderful.
There's something special about Halloween. For one night, anything is possible. You can be whoever you want to be.
Halloween creates memories that stay with us long after the last candy corn. As the night gives way to dawn and the decorations are carefully packed away for another year, we can't help but feel a twinge of sadness that Halloween has come to an end. But just like the cycle of seasons, we know that this beloved holiday will return, bringing with it a fresh wave of spooky fun and festive cheer.
I always get a little sad when Halloween's over. It's just such a fun, festive time. But then again, it gives us something to look forward to all year long, right?
So, let's bid farewell to another Halloween, but let's not say goodbye to the spirit of creativity, community, and good-natured mischief that it represents.
Yeah, Halloween may be over for another year, but that doesn't mean the fun has to stop. We can keep the spirit alive by telling ghost stories, watching spooky movies, and just generally embracing the weird and wonderful all year round.
So here's to Halloween, a holiday that reminds us to embrace our imaginations, connect with our communities, and never be afraid to let our freak flags fly.
Indeed, Halloween is a testament to the power of tradition, the importance of community, and the enduring appeal of a good scare. It's a holiday that truly has something for everyone.
From all of us here at your YouTube channel name, we wish you all a happy and safe Halloween. May your treats be plentiful, your costumes be creative, and your scares be just the right amount of spooky. Until next year, keep it creepy, folks.
It was Halloween night, the air filled with a sense of mystery and excitement. The kitchen was dimly lit, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Orange and purple lights glowed softly, adding to the spooky ambiance. Fake spiders hung from the ceiling, their webs glistening in the dim light. Emma and Jack brought in their pumpkins, their faces lit up with excitement.
Let's carve them, Jack. This is going to be so much fun.
Emma said, her eyes shining with anticipation.
Okay, but don't blame me if your pumpkin comes alive and starts dancing around the kitchen.
Jack teased, a mischievous grin on his face. He liked to scare his little sister. Emma giggled, her laughter echoing through the room. She wasn't really scared, not with her big brother around to protect her.
Remember, make friendly faces on the pumpkins. We want to delight the trick-or-treaters, not scare them away with spooky faces.
She winked at Emma, who nodded eagerly, her mind already racing with ideas. She already had the perfect design in mind, a friendly ghost with a big smile.
All right, let's get carving. This is going to be the best Halloween ever.
Jack exclaimed, his excitement contagious. He grabbed a carving knife and held it up dramatically like a knight ready for battle. Emma laughed and picked her own pumpkin, ready to create her masterpiece. The night was just beginning and the fun was only getting started. Emma traced a pattern on to make it her, adding to the eerie atmosphere.
I'm going to give mine a big toothy grin. It'll be the scariest pumpkin ever.
She announced with a confident smile, her eyes gleaming with excitement. As she started carving, she thought she heard something. A faint noise, almost like a whisper, made her pause. It was a soft whisper, barely audible, but enough to send a shiver down her spine.
Boo.
She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. The whisper seemed to echo in her ears.
Did you hear that? She asked, her voice trembling slightly.
Hear what? Her friend replied, looking confused and continuing to carve his pumpkin.
He said, not looking up from his pumpkin, completely engrossed in his work.
I thought I heard a ghost, she whispered, her eyes darting around nervously.
Emma whispered, her eyes wide with fear and curiosity.
There's no such thing as ghosts, silly, her friend said, rolling her eyes and laughing.
Jack said with a chuckle. Emma wasn't so sure. The whisper had felt too real, too close. But she continued carving, trying to shake off the spooky feeling. She focused on her pumpkin, determined to finish it. The pumpkin felt strangely cold beneath her fingers, almost as if it had a life of its own. She shivered but kept carving, her mind racing with thoughts of ghosts and whispers.
Mom, can we roast the pumpkin seeds?
Jack asked, scooping out the pumpkin's insides.
Of course, roasted pumpkin seeds are a Halloween tradition.
Emma carefully carved a friendly smile on her pumpkin. She didn't want to scare anyone, especially not any friendly ghosts. She placed a candle inside and lit it. The pumpkin glowed warmly.
Look at our creations, they're fantastic.
The pumpkins sat on the porch, grinning at the world.
As they admired their work, I thought I heard it again.
Boo.
This time Jack heard it too. He turned towards the sound, his eyes narrowed.
Who's there?
Silence. Only the rustling of leaves in the wind answered him. Emma clutched her brother's arm, a little scared.
See, I told you. Maybe it is a ghost.
Jack tried to look brave, but he felt a shiver run down his spine. After a long day of playing outside, they went back inside, their minds still buzzing with the day's adventures. They eagerly told their mom about the strange whisper they heard near the old oak tree. Mom just laughed, brushing it off as their imagination.
It's probably just the wind playing tricks on you, she said, trying to reassure them with a warm smile.
But Emma and Jack weren't convinced. They exchanged worried glances, their minds racing with possibilities. They continued carving their pumpkins, trying to focus on creating the perfect spooky faces. But they couldn't shake the eerie feeling that lingered in the air. Every creak of the old house, every gust of wind that rattled the windows made them jump and glance around nervously. Even the pumpkin seeds roasting in the oven seemed to whisper and crackle, adding to the spooky atmosphere.
Maybe we should carve happy faces instead, Emma suggested, hoping to lighten the mood.
Jack nodded in agreement, thinking it might be a good idea to ward off any spooky feelings. They decided to decorate the house with friendly Halloween decorations, hoping to invite cheerful visitors and keep the spooky ghosts at bay. Finally, their pumpkins were finished. They placed them on the porch. They lit the candles inside. The pumpkins glowed with a warm, inviting light. As they stood back to admire their work, they heard it again.
Happy Halloween.
But this time, it didn't sound scary. It sounded friendly, almost playful. Emma and Jack looked at each other and smiled. Maybe it was a friendly ghost after all. The end.